Hi everyone!
Hi!
It's the end of what has been a pretty mammoth year, and we thought we'd wrap it up by finding out our highlights. So Joe...
Trying to remember our highlights.
It's been quite good for us to go through. Joe's dug through the archives, so this will be a bit of a video podcast.
Mishmash of like all of our, trying to find our favourite bits or important bits, because actually there are some bits in here which aren't our favourite bits.
No, we left it all in.
The highs and lows.
Yeah, there's been plenty of each.
What's your favourite bit, Ben?
Me? Oh, that's
I think I can answer for
already.
you.
What's that?
Getting animals on the farm.
Yeah, that's been good.
And getting the tractor. I think they were two big things for you.
Yeah. And I'm getting started on the build. Like, we could have been sat on our hands waiting for planning and stuff. At least we had something to do.
The final chassis arriving.
Yeah, that's true. Although that was quite stressful.
And getting up here, because actually if you think about this time last year, we were still
finishing the house.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, look back at it all.
We were finishing quite a lot in the house.
Oh man, it's quite emotional looking back on it, like all the stuff we left behind. And actually, some of this footage shows kind of our last few days, isn't it?
Yeah.
And packing up and showing the girls the farm for the first time. This is when we actually visited the farm before we moved, isn't it?
Yeah, we came up for the day because we just got it.
Yeah.
We?
Well, yes, that's right. Yeah, we just found out we were getting it.
So, yeah.
This is when Faith said, "So, when are we going to see the house?"
Even though we had described her many a time. Bless her.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is what the farm looked like before we filled it full of our junk and started hoarding.
A lot of it doesn't look changed, and a lot of it looked a bit worse.
I know.
But there is a beautiful cabin there, slowly being built.
Yeah. And I think the kids have enjoyed the year, even though it's been pretty tough for them. We've been in holiday cottages, your parents, and then the bungalow where we're living at the moment. It's kind of been a bit of hopscotch for them, but they're really settled in school, so that was the main thing for us, wasn't it? Yeah,
definitely. That's been a real blessing. And we had our Patreon meet-up in the summer. Do you remember that?
We did, yeah. So
that was good.
We've had a few visitors over the year. It's I think next year when we've actually got a base and a flushing toilet, it'll be nicer to invite people, so we can actually have friends and family visit. I mean, quite a few have visited, but there's still plenty that haven't seen it yet.
No, it'll be good. I'm already, which is really bad, I'm already looking forward to the summer. It was so lovely having that lovely dry summer. I know it wasn't great
a bit too dry
land, but for us to really see the pros and enjoy and start falling in love with the farm, that was really good.
Yeah, and the long days. I'm fed up of dark evenings already.
That's okay. It's gone past the 21st December. It's going to get better now.
Already feeling more chirpy. This is move-in day. We were trying to find a bunch of the footage right from early on in the year because we figured some of you may not have even been following the channel back then. And also for us, it was quite nice to just look back and look at her.
Little Raggy!
Look
so
at her.
Cute.
She's just clean and small and not covered in sheep poo.
I did say that was the size I wanted her to be. I knew she was going to be bigger, don't get me wrong. We did do our research, but I always wanted a smaller dog.
And the caravan. The caravan when it was clean.
Yeah.
But it didn't stay in... I mean, to think that...
Now
we're wheeling the caravan through what will hopefully one day be a lounge.
What are we looking forward to next year?
Oh, a lot. Well, let's start with the simple things. First of all, fluffy baby animals.
Oh. At least you didn't say planning being approved. Well, because that's not simple.
Planning due date and baby goat due date is the same week.
Yeah. So maybe they'll both be happy, or maybe one will get us through the other.
So it will be, a busy start to the year. And then I feel like the cabin will be done. We won't necessarily be starting on any buildings.
Did you hear that? The cabin will be done.
Well, yeah, it better be. And we hopefully can move into it then. But by that time, we can potentially have a month or two without anything too serious going on. So we can focus on planning ahead for the rest of the year.
We
and
do
getting
need to
ordering and meeting with suppliers and stuff. So.
Yeah. But also not buying any more animals?
No, I think they're just arriving themselves now. If you think, what have we got, 20 sheep to lamb and 5 goats? And Matilda's got to have Alyssa. So
I can't even get my head around. I'm just still looking forward to organising my new kitchen. Which doesn't even have a ceiling yet.
And
so,
we've actually got to build another
Or a
kitchen. We've got to sort out a commercial kitchen, so for all the products coming off the farm, and get that signed off in the new year as well. So, yeah. All right, so January's pretty busy as well.
Everything's busy, but that's how we thrive, isn't it?
Yeah. So early on in the year, when we were just moving in and we were getting set up, this is when our first and only big blunder happened, which is when we started out and we placed an order for fabrication of our chassis. And the long story of that, for those of you who didn't know, was that we lost out on the money that we paid for them, and we tried everything to... We'd gone through the courts and the claims and all that sort of stuff, and there was nothing we could do. We'd gone through all the right avenues. He
didn't have any money left, and so that was it, really. He's dissolved the company, blah, blah, blah. It's a real... Yeah. I wish we'd learnt some stuff from it. We reflect, but I still think we would have lost money in that scenario.
Yeah, it was hard to predict that one, because on paper, even on Company's House, things were okay, and it's a normal sort of deal when you're getting something fabricated bespoke to pay for most, if not all of it, at the time of delivery or before delivery. So the only thing we can potentially do is always make sure we've got something on a credit card to cover us that way.
Yeah.
And yeah.
There we are.
That's
Fateful.
the bombshell moment.
That's when Tim told me. Oh.
And he'd just been having us on the whole time. That was the final.
And I even look at the camera and I say, "This is why we do things ourselves." Isn't it? This is the laser scan, which was very cool for...
Yeah, shout out to Duncan, because that's been really useful throughout the year, and it just going forwards, anything we do now, we can refer to that. And we might be filming something early on next year, potentially another survey with Duncan, but there's plenty more content around that which we filmed, even some of Duncan's behind the scenes stuff on how he actually modelled the farm, but we thought we'd hold on to it so when we actually start the build we can go back to that and start from a good datum point, because at the moment the barn is kind of actually being used as a barn, so it's not really a blank canvas.
And how could we forget the launch of DIY Farm, the new channel?
I know, well that was going to come later in this. That was the end of the year, wasn't it? But
yeah,
DIY Farm, it's worked. We thought we would struggle with the workload, but I think
it's the same workload. It's just a case of putting it up somewhere different.
Yeah.
We haven't done any more videos on the Restoration Couple. Like, those farm videos just gone to the DIY Farm. So
yeah.
So
it's quite nice to have a home for that, and that's grown really quickly and just seems to be going down really well. People are watching, all or a lot of the video, and
let us know
sticking around
below whether you are Restoration Couple, DIY Farm, or whether you're both. The ultimate.
We don't want to form rival gangs. But anyway, so that's been fun, and it also means we can go into a bit more depth on some of the stuff that Joe would tell me that would bore the Restoration Couple.
Wow. The analytics, maybe not the people, but the analytics.
Yeah, so
it's hard to do a thumbnail or do tags or whatever for something when it's not when it's 2 or 3 different things in one video.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, and it means that this year, when we're doing a lot more stuff out in the farm as well as the build, we'll laying pipes and fencing and gates and planting, hedging, all that stuff is the right place to be at. And this was it. This was the big lift. This is how you get to meet your neighbours when you buy a farm. Order something really heavy that there's no way you can manage it alone. And so Craig came over and managed to get all of this done in a fraction of the time. I was considering taking out those walls, towing it around with the tractor, and this is how it should have been done and how it was done. So getting those around and being able to start the build, that was a big moment actually, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To have them finally there after one failed order and one proper order. Yeah. Now we've got to work out that in a few years' time we've got to take that exact route to get them out, but now there'll be 10 tons plus and
higher
and wider, but well, no wider. Hopefully.
We that is, I don't know whether people know, but we have said we are not going to move them now. We are going to keep them where they are. We're going to do a bit of wall removal from the silage clamp walls, just in the places where we have windows and we have doors, and try and figure out something that way, aren't we?
Yeah, I think just having the concrete hard standing there, if we were to put it where we first thought, which is basically where a future garden will be, we would need quite a lot of groundworks to support all the stands, where you've got to have 12 support stands on each half. Every one of those would really need to be on something solid. So I think it's the right decision, and it doesn't really make any difference on views or anything like that, does it?
It won't once we've sorted those bits out, will it?
No.
But yeah, and it will mean we can park a lot closer.
Yeah, just having the solid ground, for access is way better.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this year planting, and potentially I really want to build a greenhouse. That's one of my early aims, or one of, I'm going to put on him early aims. Really want to get, but like we obviously had a little go this year, and we did do very well for courgettes and pumpkins.
Pumpkins went well.
But yeah,
and
we'd love to do.
We got 50 kilo potatoes. We should do more of that because we've got the space now. In previous years, we've always just been using raised beds, and potatoes are almost like a waste of space when you could be growing strawberries and tomatoes and high value goods. Whereas now I think we've got the space, we can do more root veg and try and store that. But
we'll also need to prepare for the harvest rather than and storing things and the space for all of that. So
and the veg garden, look, here it is, and we are 4 times bigger than that now, where we've prepped with the pigs. So we've got the option at least for Joe to go full on market gardening.
Oh, I am so not. Who's that? Monty? I'm not him.
Don.
But I'm gonna try. I will definitely be learning on the job. But we'll see. We'll see how we go.
I mean, it's not like you're caring for an animal. If your broad beans die, you don't have to feel as guilty. You might feel like it's been a waste of space
and time and effort.
I know, but no one can hold you responsible.
No, but it's that. Yeah, it's that. Would be this. Yeah, there could be a lot of investment and time, and like if stuff comes and eats it, like your pigs,
or wildlife. Can't just blame my pigs.
Well, I can when you say, let's just let them out for a little jaunt.
Anyway, back to the cabin. The cabin build, the 2 of us did most of it early summer. We had some help from friends, so Craig gave us a hand, and Tom.
Lots of hands he did.
Poor Craig managed to pick the hottest days of the year to work on the roof and help with the framing and the trusses. Yeah. And I think we were pretty much
it's really good to watch
at a good
back,
pace,
isn't it? Like when you think back, and we've been able to enjoy and have friends over. We've still had weekends and evenings, which has been important too. We always said we wanted to enjoy and plan because it's really easy, especially when you're new to DIY. It is in all your spare time, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's hard to get out of that habit.
In some way, having had planning approved much earlier in the year, it would have been quite stressful. It
would have been stressful between you and I, because we'd have been feeling guilty the cabin wasn't done and feeling stressed because we couldn't get into the cabin.
Yeah.
So that
or
would
we
have
would have
put
to
a
rush
rift
stuff
between us. I think.
And I think actually, if we were in a position to move into it beginning of next year, looking at a month or 2, then we've paced the cabin. It hasn't been crazy stressful because we've probably been doing the equivalent of 3 days a week on it, 4 days a week.
Yeah.
Right, we should probably move on to the last few weeks, which has been we've got power in the cabin. I mean, that is a highlight. Joe hasn't even managed to see the lighting yet because it only got put in yesterday. We have power. We have lights.
That's going to be great.
I have taken the final
and
extension
windows.
lead.
No, it's not.
And
the
patio door that is a drop down onto concrete.
Yeah.
But we are now at a point where the final extension lead has been extracted.
Oh my word!
Yeah, I know.
The door and the windows could actually all shut at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
So we'll try and get that video out in the new
so
year
we can
as well.
use the plugs. Sorry, this is amazing.
I know, and USB plugs for charging. I'm basically moved in there.
Oh, wow. Just need a flushing toilet and a septic tank.
We haven't even started plumbing yet. We haven't even got water access to the...
Tim's been researching in his evenings septic tanks, and he's like, this isn't really a joy.
No. Anyway, let's finish off the video with a little look at one crazy harebrained idea we had. And that was, here you go, our very own jolly nativity scene, which had a whole host of bloopers. I think we're going to save the bloopers for the Patreon. Instagram and Patreon. Yeah, so Patreon, I've got a special rendition of this coming as well. But we thought we'd better do a behind-the-scenes film of it just to show you the craziness that really goes on. But we got the shot, and that's what counts.
Yeah, and the kids didn't complain too much.
And no one got a goat horn where they didn't want it.
It was quite fun in the end. It wasn't too, like...
No, it could have been a lot more stressful.
Yeah, you've just got to go with it with these things, haven't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, should we say Merry Christmas?
Let's say Merry Christmas. Thank you for all your support over the year, especially to those of you on other platforms as well, on Instagram, and a big thank you to our members over on Patreon for all their support as well. We've had our sponsors on the channel who have been basically making it possible for us to dedicate our time to making these videos. So huge thank you to Speedy and Isotunes and to Blacktrack for sorting us out with the tractor, because I would be even more tired than I am if I was having to handle everything. Looking forward to next year.
And yeah, hope you have a peaceful Christmas.
Yeah.
We'll see you after maybe a break off. Maybe a week.
It will take a few days, yeah. Anyway, remember, if you can,
do it yourself.
And we'll see you next time.